Well, good evening. It's 11:15 on the last night of session. I think we have been working very hard over the last 36 to 48 hours to put together an agreement on a state budget. I think that we have tentatively reached that agreement. The governor has agreed to call us back in for a special session starting at 12:01 tonight. I want to just personally thank the governor and his staff for the work that we've done over the course of the last 2 or 3 days. I think it really represents true compromise. We're getting some things we wanted. I know the governor's getting some things he wanted. We're pretty happy with that. But I'm also just want to say that he and his staff have been really good to work with over the course of the last few days. So we're happy with that. And I'll let the senator say a few comments as well.
Yeah, I'm grateful that we have a deal. It was a deal that we finished it just a few minutes ago. We reached across the table from each other and shook hands. It's how politics should work in Minnesota. It worked extremely well. It wasn't easy. I think we all knew we had to give up something, which is always what happens. And then you get something. But in the end, when that happens, Minnesota wins. And tonight I really believe Minnesota won. And so, like the speaker said, I just appreciate the governor and his staff. Our staff in the Senate, and the House, their staff, and the Speaker. We all worked hard to make things good for Minnesota. So we've got a lot of work yet to do, but we've got the framework, and with that, we'll turn it over to the governor.
Well, I would concur with what the leaders just said. We worked very hard. We worked very well together. Obviously we have very real differences, and so there's been a lot of give and take, and people giving up what they want and accepting what they don't want, but you negotiated in good faith, you and your staffs and other leaders, and appreciate that. And I would agree, we got the framework. We still have some details to work out with several of the bills, but with just 12:01 to 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning, that should be hopefully time to get things resolved. The bill is printed and acted upon, and we'll go from there.
Mr. Speaker, will you work through the night tonight?
I think that we probably will not. I haven't had a lot of sleep in the last 36 hours, nor have the other leaders. We probably will come in we'll gavel out at just before midnight. We'll gavel back in at 12:01. We will then probably recess until tomorrow morning. While we do have a tentative agreement on what this budget will look like, there are still some details to be worked out. There are also some logistical challenges in getting the bills drafted to be taken up and adopted in conference committee tomorrow and then passed before 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So this will not be the all-nighter. Tomorrow night will be the all-nighter to get things done, but we're optimistic that it will happen.
I was going to say, if the governor works through the night, I'll work through the night. If he goes to bed, I'm going to bed.
Have you agreed that 7 a.m. Wednesday morning will be the end, even though you get to adjourn whenever you want to?
Well, no, we've agreed that if we don't finish, the governor would have the right, or we wouldn't keep going unless the governor gave us permission. We're all in agreement. We hope we can do it by then. Some of the bills are just very large and complex, and so, but we are hoping to get done by that time.
Can you tell us what's in this tentative agreement?
A lot of good stuff.
Well, give us some specifics.
How much in tax cuts? How much in for education?
Yeah, so the tax cut bill is $660 million. The transportation bill is $300 million. K-12, I believe the number is $477. Some of the other ones.
Yeah, and I think we probably will want you to just watch for the conference committee reports as they post. Some of these bills are not finalized yet, and we still have to work out those details. Specifically, K-12, HHS, transportation are not finalized yet, but we feel like we're close enough that we can come out and stand before the cameras tonight and say that we're optimistic that we're going to get this done in the next 36 or so hours. So we feel good about that, but probably don't want to give all the specifics because some of those things haven't been worked out.
How are you feeling about screen time? That was a major issue for you.
Well, we've reached a compromise that would provide the $50 million, which was my bottom line, and for a program called School Readiness Plus. Commissioner Casilius and the Chair, Senator Nelson and Representative Loon are working out the details of that now, but it'll accomplish what I want to see in terms of another pre-K opportunity for parents and their children, and with the additional targeting that particularly Representative Bloom thought was important. So it's satisfactory, and the details still have to be resolved, but the additional $50 million is what's most important to me.
What's the breakthrough tonight? What was it that allowed you to come to an agreement after so much time?
It's been steady. I mean, there was not a sudden, epiphany. It was, step by step, and we've had the chairs and commissioners and staffs all working on each of these bills, at the same time. I mean, so it's been, step by step by step over the last 3 days, really, Saturday, Sunday, and today.
And
Governor,
what's
what do you
your
feel about
priority?
the fiscal responsibility of this, given that it's $1 billion now between tax cuts and transportation? Does that meet your priority?
Well, it's not everything that I want. Again, I mean, I on record as saying I would like more for higher education, like more for E-12 education, but again, in the give and take of, I didn't expect that I'd get all I want. Is compromise means you agree to things you don't agree with, and we've all compromised.
Is preemption an any part of this deal?
We can address that.
We will send a preemption bill to the governor's desk before the end, and we've talked about that. We don't know what the result will be, but
Do you really not have where the result will be?
Separately in the budget.
Yeah, we agreed not to put in the budget
How
bill.
about bonding?
Oh, we didn't mention that. We're going to have a bonding bill around $990 million, something like that. The House and Senate have to put one together. The Democrats and the Republicans have to each contribute votes, so we're putting that together now.
The immigrant driver's license provision, is that in there?
that was agreed to. It actually already has passed in the public safety bill.
Okay, so the governor is going to go off of that, sir?
I strongly disagree with it, but again, there are other concessions made to reach a bill that we could all finally agree to, and that's
Governor,
reality.
what will the fate of that preemption bill be? You've been
I won't sign a bill with preemption. I've already made that very clear. Appreciate that they're sending it to me separate from budget bills. It's not trying to jam it in that way, but I made it clear I'll veto a bill that has preemption.
Governor, the bonding bill, less than what you wanted, but it's halfway in between. What do you think, is it enough?
Well, again, it's the four caucuses, and my office has been involved too. It's give and take, but it's the same amount as the bill was last year. So this is, in my view, picking up for what wasn't accomplished last year. There are some different features to it. I'm hopeful there'll be another bonding bill next year, which is the even year, which is the traditional year for a bonding bill.
Senator Gazelka, will the transportation funding, the $300 million roughly, is that from existing revenue, no license tabs?
Yeah, there's no license tab fees. It comes from the sales tax on auto parts. We will have money for buses in there as well, bus transit of $70 million. And then we'll look at what the number will be going forward after that. We call that the tails, but that's yet to be worked out.
And how's on HHS and state gov, two of the commissioners' bills that have mentioned.
So HHS was probably the most complex one. We're nearly completed working at that, finding some places to save some money. We were concerned that the growth was at 20%. In fact, all of us were concerned with that, but it's very difficult to reduce the growth of that spending. So I think we've come to the place that we have agreement.
And state gov, is the campaign finance changes still in there? Is there enough money for your agencies in there, Governor?
Cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity?
I think the bill, hopefully that one's a bill that we're very close on, the state government finance bill. I think we'll probably have to have you wait and see what's in the report when it comes out. There's still a few details that are yet to be worked out, but we're really close on that one. So that one actually could close up tonight yet and be posted overnight.
Is there still a chance this could all unravel?
Potentially, but I'll tell you, I don't think it's likely. I think we feel really good about the work that has been done over the last 24 to 48 hours. We have worked really well together. We have sensed very sincerely that the governor wanted to get this wrapped up on time. I think he sensed that we wanted to get it wrapped up on time. And I think without the commitment from all of us to get this done and get it done in a real sense of compromise, it wouldn't have been possible. So we do feel really optimistic that it will wrap up.
Any final question? Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.